Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and distinguished panelists, a warm welcome to all of you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon. So today's session is part of AKEPT Let's Talk About, a platform designed to facilitate discussions on leadership in higher education. Launched in May 2024, this initiative brings together administrators, educators, and thought leaders to exchange their experiences, insights, and challenges in advancing the higher education system. So the main key objective of LTA is basically a platform for all the leaders across ASEAN to share their perspectives, leaderships, and then sharing their challenges and way forward and sharing best practices. I think this is a very important platform that we can share our thoughts, okay, and moving forward in education industry. So with this in mind, today's discussions aligns perfectly the LTA's vision to explore leadership in higher education challenges associated with navigating transformations. So today we will be together to see the direction moving forward to ensuring institutions the direct strategies, innovations, and transformation that can align to our purpose of being a higher education institution. Okay, so now there are some of the questions that we can actually looking at ever-evolving landscape. For example, how do we ensure that our institution remain true in their mission while embracing progress? How do we balance innovation with integrity, transformation, with tradition and global aspiration with national identity? So while we're exploring more questions, I think I look forward to have insights from our esteemed panelists today. So first, yang berbahagia Datuk Profesor Dr. Azlinda Azman from Malaysia. As the Director General of Higher Education Malaysia, she leads national and international efforts in policy, governance, and institution excellence. With a background in social work and equity, she understands the transformative power of education in nation building. Our second panelist, Dr. Ponchai Mokomvanit from Thailand. Dr. Ponchai, a champion of university-industry collaboration, internationalization, and technology-driven education. Dr. Ponchai has positioned Siam University as a global hub for innovation. He also serves as President Emeritus of the International Association of University Presidents, IAUP. The next panelist, Dr. Bert J. Tuga from Philippines. As the president of the Philippine Normal University, Dr. Tuga is redefining teacher education and global citizenship learning. His leadership in curriculum transformation and UNESCO-backed initiatives highlights the role of education in fostering social change. And our fourth panelist, Prof. Didi Sukyandi from Indonesia, a linguistic expert and vice rector at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And Pak Didi has advanced research in multilingual education and digital learning. His work in applied linguistics showcases how knowledge can shape society. So let's begin this conversation by setting the stage for what higher education truly means in today's world. So higher education has always been a gateway to knowledge, innovation, and societal progress. But as the world becomes more complex and interconnected, our endings of its core purpose is evolving. Can I invite Professor Dr. Azlinda? Let's start with you. From a Malaysian perspective, what do you see as the fundamental role of higher education? And how does this shape national policies and institutional strategies? Over to you, Prof.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Malaysia Menani. Thank you very much to Professor Yatimah Alias, who is the moderator for this session, AKEPT Talk, and also to the fellows panelists, distinguished panelists. It's good to be meeting all of you today at this session, AKEPT Talk series. and of course to AKEPT. It is an honor for me to be here today at this AKEPT Talk Series 2025, which I see as a gathering that symbolizes our collective commitment to shaping the future of higher education in our region. And I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to everyone who have given me the opportunity to be here. And our theme this time is about the core purpose, right, of higher education in changing world. So this is very much timely and also relevant because we find ourselves navigating an increasingly complex and interconnected world. So therefore, the role of higher education in cultivating innovation, supporting ethical standards, and advancing civilization has never been more crucial. Now, as for Malaysia, in the Malaysian higher education system or ecosystem, the role of higher education is imperative. For example, it is a diverse and vibrant entity poised at the crossroad of tradition and innovation. That's how we see it. Now, it is here within our universities, colleges, and polytechnics, public and private alike, that the future of Malaysia is being shaped. So, therefore, the importance of evolving educational practices cannot be overstated, for they are the engines of change, driving us towards new horizons of knowledge and discovery. And at this helm, the evolution of the higher education in guiding and crafting policies and intervention is needed in order for us to ensure our education remains relevant, competitive, and globally recognized. Therefore, the role of Ministry of Higher Education via universities in Malaysia is must continue to be at the forefront to finding solutions to problem arise. And we believe that through collaborative efforts, we can pave the way for transformative changes that uplift society in entirety. Now, in our exploration for Malaysia's higher education landscape, it is crucial to understand the role played by the Ministry of Higher Education and all the agencies under the ministry. Now, firstly, if I can, put it in a very short context, well, firstly, our role at the Ministry of Higher Education is in terms of policy making and regulations, where the ministry forward
Connection.
standards and guidelines. Yeah. Now, this robust framework ensures our institutions remain relevant to national and global demands, while fostering continuous improvement. Now, secondly, we are here to support and facilitate. Beyond setting the standards, the ministry actively facilitates success. Therefore, we provide crucial support through funding initiative, infrastructure development, and by fostering fruitful international collaboration. Now, these actions elevate our higher education ecosystem's global standing and equip our institution for comparative success on the world stage. So, in essence, I would say that the Ministry of Higher Education in Malaysia plays a dual role: the guardian of our educational quality, and at the same time, the engine in propelling our reputation for excellence. So I stop at that first, Prof. Yatima. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Prof. Dato. I think this is a good start to see the Malaysian core purpose of education. Shall we also hear on our next speaker, Dr. Ponchai, on Thailand core purpose of education?
Okay, yes. I think that in Thailand, like in other countries, we also struggle with some kind of challenges, such as you know, we don't really know the future because a lot of disruption. So how can we prepare our graduate with the future that very hardly to predict? And then secondly, as you know, the shelf life of the knowledge is quite short. Probably we also have to focus more on the lifelong learning. How can we ensure that 5 years after they graduate, they still have the knowledge that is relevant? So these are the challenges to the higher education in Thailand. And the third thing is that we have to accept that the university is not the only main higher education provider anymore. Right now, you have the corporation, you have a lot of organization that can provide higher education, and some of them might be able to provide a very good quality and updated and make it current, uh, providing good quality of higher education. How can we work with them, or should we compete with them? So that's the other challenge. And in Thailand, in our MAHC, or Ministry of Higher Education, uh, Innovation, Research, and Innovation, we also realize that probably we cannot have the same solution or the same formula to all higher education that we have. So we try to make our higher education institution not the same, but different. So we have the program called Reinventing University. So we divided the university into 5 groups. The first group is the Research Frontier University. The second one is the one that focuses on innovation and technology. The third one is for community services. The fourth one will be the one that is focused on the moral and religion. And the fifth one is focus on specific professional training. And we try to have the university and the ministry working together to put the university in these 5 categories. And then in each category, we also try to have the program that working toward the futures. They might not be the same, and they should not be the same. So this is what we are doing with this kind of challenge for the future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's interesting, yeah, because I think Dr. Ponchai shared with us how the categorization of university be implementing in Thailand. I think in Malaysia also we have this so-called a cluster of a consortium university that very niche into certain area. Thank you, Dr. Ponchai. So shall we go to Indonesia, Pak Didi? Can you share your core purpose of higher education in Indonesia?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yatima. But first of all, I would like to thank AKEPT for the opportunity given to me. It is an honored invitation. Regarding to the core purpose of higher education, I will refer to the regulation in Indonesia, law number 12 year 2012, verse 5 about higher education. There are 4 core purposes of higher education in Indonesia. First, develop the potential of students to become individuals who are faithful and devoted to God Almighty, possess noble character, healthy, knowledgeable, capable, creative, independent, skilled, competent, and cultured for the benefit of the nation. Number 2, produce graduates who master branches of knowledge and technology to meet national interests and enhance the nation's competitiveness. Number 3, produce knowledge and technology through research that considers and applies humanistic values, benefiting the advancement of the nation, civilization, and the well-being of humanity. Number 4, relies the community service based on reasoning and research work that is beneficial in advancing the general welfare and educating the nation's life. These 4 core purposes of higher education align with the duties of higher education in Indonesia. In practice, we have 3 duties of universities in Indonesia, but in terms of values, we included to 4 duties. The first one is the character and ethical development, such as faith, noble character, and culture, which are reflected in the application of mandatory courses that should be adopted by all tertiary education in Indonesia. Namely, we have Pancasila and civic education. Pancasila is the 5 basic principles of Indonesia, Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia, and the last one, the 4th one, is religions. Through this subject in our university, we can insert local, national, and international issues such as global citizenships, sustainable development goals, 21st century skills, and the implementation or the insertion of AI in the teaching and learning processes. Number two is the academic excellence with the aim of producing graduates who are skilled, creative, and competent directly aligns with the global higher education ethos of fostering innovation, critical thinking, and problem-solving abilities. We use three indicators to show graduate qualities. The first one is number of students who continue their study to their further education, or they work with a standard income. And the third one is whether they go to businesses, whether starting a startup or having a small businesses with the income which is recognized by the government as whether provincial or regional basic salary. And number three is research for social advancement. And they focus on research that benefits society and advances civilization. We are guided by the principle of producing cutting-edge research that not only pushes the boundaries of knowledge, but also addresses social challenges. We establish and crisis funding for a unit that deals with the downstreaming of our research output to make them go into products used by publics or our research output. So our research output does not end with publication on papers only, but they should be used by people, by public in the form of mass production of the research innovation. The fourth one is community engagement and public service. The commitment to serving the community and advancing the public good is a cornerstone of higher education mission globally. For example, we allocate one semester or 20 credits to encourage our students to study outside the campus, whether by internship programs, independent study, student exchanges, campus teaching, or community engagement. Last semester, we are involved in reducing the problems of food waste and stunting problems in 5 regencies around the river in West Java, involving more than 2,500 students in one semester in collaboration with the West Java provincial government. I think I should start at this point, Dr. Yatim. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Didi. It's very comprehensive core purposes by higher education in Indonesia. Is a lot to share with, and it's great that we can hear from Indonesia. Again, the next speaker will be Dr. Bert from Philippines. We would like to hear your insights on the core purpose of higher education in Philippines. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Yatima. Briefly, I'd like to thank AKEPT and KPU and also Senior Head for staging this very important conversation on the core purpose of higher education in the current context. On a leadership perspective, I always look at the purpose of education, higher education, into a shift from managing and leading physical universities and managing and leading virtual universities. In the past, our time and effort was really focused on managing these physical universities. But now the expectation is both to manage both physical and virtual institutions and to prepare these systems for the future. So with the question about what is the core purpose of higher ed in our context now, of course, it's really about preparing and making our students ready for the future of work and education. And online and digital education is already here, actually, and it will continue to evolve in the coming years. But there's one challenge for higher education. Now, with this digitalization and advancement in technology in education, how do we protect academic integrity is one very important question. There is massive disinformation and information in the online world, and higher education is not uh, totally protected from that. So we really have to ensure that in redesigning the future of higher education, we are still able to protect academic integrity despite the development and advancement in technology. The second one that I'd like to point out is for higher education to uphold um, the values of inclusivity and also protecting democratic processes and engagement and democratic participation in our institutions. Because I believe that is the role of universities, of higher education, to continue modeling democratic engagement and participation for the country, for our respective institutions as well. Of course, I see that the development and sharing of knowledge, not only for research and publication, but also for social mobility and social and public use, will be still part of the future of higher education. And lastly, Professor Yatima, I'd like to include my own advocacy as we move for the future of higher education, which is sustainable development and global citizenship education. I think these are two important concepts that should form part of the future of higher education, because these concepts of sustainability in education and global citizenship education will target both peace and progress, which we need continuously in our society. So that would be for my first answer for that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bert. Yes, definitely. I mean, we foresee there's a lot of challenges around here to remain and maintain our core purpose of higher education. And being a leader of this higher education, I believe, again, it demands vision, can adapt, and also resilience toward changes in the real world. So for us, like leaders, we need to prepare ourselves to face all these challenges. So maybe I can call upon the Ponchai, Dr. Ponchai. We can see that how you as a leader, you have a very extensive experience, especially in international leadership. How can you see leaders strike this balance? Can you share with us?
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for letting me be the speaker in this round. I think that I also agree that there are a lot of change that need to be made, and also higher education also has to restructure itself. And I also like to give you some example of what we are doing. We also agree with all of you that online education is one of the new opportunities. And the second one that is quite important is that the new generation has already been completely changed. And we have to listen to our recipient or our student as well. So at our university, we like to give as an example. We also try to restructure the system of the university, of the education in the university. The first one is that we try to change the general education, because as you know, nowadays, general education should address on some foundation that everybody needs. They are AI, digital technology, and they are also tools for lifelong learning. And the second one should be entrepreneurship and sustainability. How can we try to integrate that into our general education? Secondly, We also trying to change the system of education to be the modular system, so that in the future that we don't know, the student can choose or kind of tailor-made their education. We also try to make sure that if the student in pharmacy, if they like to study a little bit about marketing or about the digital designing, they also can do so by pick up some of the module within the system. And the third one, I think that we have to break the wall between faculties and school, because in the future, things can be mixed together. Engineer can study, I mean, it's easy. Engineer always study business, but they also can study some kind of arts as well. And it will help in their future career. And the last one that we try to make is we try to listen to our students. We have to commit that we are dealing with different generation, like our faculty members, they are from like X generation, Y generation, but our students, they are from another generation. We also have to listen to them and then use their something that is the advantage in that generation in order to encompass the system. So what we are doing now, the first thing is that we try to change even the mission of the university. We try to focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. Secondly, in our general education, we try to have three modules. The first module is the module of digital technology. Within the digital technology, we will have like artificial intelligence and also cyber security on the first subject. The second one, make sure that the student can choose the tools for their lifelong learning, because I think that this is quite essential. They cannot depend on what they study in the university and go on with their profession as it used to be. And the third part of the digital transformation, digital technology module is data analytics and visualization, how to use the data and benefit from using the data, and how can make the data to be visualized to the others. So this is the first part of general education. The second part is about the communication and languages. And the third part is about entrepreneurship and sustainability within entrepreneurship, because we think that in the future, if we try to have new technology, if we try to have innovation, then I think that the entrepreneurship have to come, because the student cannot be in the old structure with the new technology, because this is what we have studied. So we try to focus like the first part is how to make the dream into the life. This is the first part of the third module. And the second one is how to use the design thinking to with some empathy, so that they can come up with some new prototype. And the third one is how to start the new business by using the project management and like business canvas in order to do this. And then, as I have mentioned, we also couple that with the modular system that the student can choose and customize. So this is what we trying to do with our university, and luckily our ministry also give us the prize of the innovative management of higher education. But we also like to everybody to think about this, because I think that all general education is good, but right now we really need for the student to know how to use digital technology in the right way, as our colleague from the Philippines has mentioned. And then we also have to inspire them with the entrepreneurship and sustainability. So this is what we are doing, and we also keep on developing this system of higher education. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I agree with Dr. Ponchai. I think this is the current trends that needed, especially in higher education, because we we hope that we can give the best learning experience for our students with this technology around us, with the sustainability issues, maintaining and borderless education. I think the approach of Dr. Ponchai has shared with us is very good. And then I think as a leader, maybe I can call upon Pak Didi. What are the most critical leadership qualities needed today to guide universities through uncertainty and transformation?
Okay. In our situation at the moment, I really agree with what has been mentioned by Dr. Bird about the global citizenship education, because our university is one of the global education hub in Indonesia. And I also underline what has been put forward by Dr. Ponchai about the role of entrepreneurship. In my situation here in Indonesia, we see that the access to higher education is still a problem, and we have to look at the other ways of having intake to our university, because a report by McKinsey reports that the birth rate of most countries are decreasing, except in Africa continent. So if we rely on our present ways of recruiting students to our university education, I think it will be a problem for us in the future. So what we have to do is looking at the new way of recruiting students. First, we will see what we call pre-university program. And the second one is we have to find new markets for our university. The first one is what I mean by what we call uh, pre-university program, is that we have to look at the online education that has been mentioned by all of us just now. So using online module or digital module, we can prepare MOOC or MOOC, whether it is provided for cost purposes or for what we call micro credential. And through this, we offer opportunities for higher education students to take some of the micro-credential courses or academic courses in our university while they are doing their higher education. So when they have finished, for example, 20 credits equal to 20 credits or 24 credits, and then when they want to go to university, they will have a saving of 20 credits in them. So when they go to university, they do not start from the beginning, but they will be able to finish their study faster than the rest. But we have to rely on what we call online module, whether MOOC or other ways of online learning. And the second one, this online learning will also help us in looking at a new market for our intake of education, because in Indonesia we have so many uh, people who are now working, whether in government offices, whether in factories, or whether in private education sectors or private companies, and they want to improve their own skill, such as skill in a certain area, whether it is about technology, whether it is about soft skill, but they are not allowed to stop their study by their boss because it will disturb the productivity of the institution. So when I tell them that you can continue your master's or your PhD program in our university without leaving your office, because you can do the module online, they are very enthusiastic. So I think this is one of our homework that we have to go through in improving access to higher education. But some problems if we want to go to the direction about the quality of education, because when we do online, sometimes I myself experienced that when I did my PhD program, when I had classes with supervisors or with faculty staff, we have our fixed schedule, we have our fixed assessment time, and we can do the courses very well. But when coming to paper writing, thesis writing, dissertation writing, we have to work independently, and sometimes we have problems here. So when we are moving to online education, one of the quality that we have to keep is how to educate our learners to be self-regulated learners, how they are able to study independently without being highly supervised, because they will learn based on their own needs. They will learn based on their own pace and based on their own interests without being directed, without being watched. So I think that's I think what we have to nurture in the future. I think that's I think one of our problem to keep the quality of education on the right track. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Didi, on the sharing on digital learning. This is the trend, and we have to adapt with the change make. All right, so maybe Prof. Dato' Azinda, you still there? Prof. Dato'?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dato'. I think, as you know, collaboration is the key when we talk about this leadership in changing world. So I think I need your input on this. How can this our regional partnerships between universities can strengthen our ability to address these global challenges? Dato', maybe you can share your experience and successful leadership strategies.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Fatima, and everyone again. I think I totally agree with everyone's input, the panelists' input, that, as much as we want to go into lifelong learning and alternative credentials, we should also be thinking about the importance of innovation in teaching and learning. Yeah, this is an essential, very essential for us to prepare our students to navigate an unpredictable future. So therefore, we must continue to explore how to integrate emerging technologies and pedagogical approaches to create learning environment that are engaging, inclusive, and effective. Yeah. So this is also one of our challenges in finding leaders. Yeah, especially leaders among our educators themselves. Yeah, the professors and the lecturers. They will have to nurture our students. Yeah, and this is one of the primary skills that the lecturers must have, educators must have, in order for us to use technology so that it is used in a more integrity manner. And also, but at the same time, we cannot abandon, because we need to transform, equipping our students with the necessary skills and mindset to thrive in a rapidly changing world. Therefore, I must say that revolutionizing higher education is imperative nowadays. Yeah? So besides of MOOCs that is mentioned by Pak Didi just now, we also have the blended learning. We also have the program that has a dual benefit, to you, to I, for example, in the case of Malaysia, like 3 years years or 2 years in campus and then 2 years in the industry, for example, or during the practicum. That is also in order for us to collaborate. Talking about collaboration, so collaborate. So we need the support from the many industries or many other stakeholders in order to support the university to allow more opportunities for our students to excel, and in terms of training them. And the apprenticeship degree, I would like to highlight on this, is also very important, because we also want to shift higher education from classroom-based to a work-based learning. So at the moment, this is one of the priority areas that we are pushing forward. So immersive learning and the concept of earn and learn is prioritized. Then learn, then earn. So we have that. So therefore, with active industry involvement is in the long term. Therefore, we need the industry to support us. And of course, currently we are also looking into the stackable degrees. Whereby in our Ministry of Higher Education, we encourage all the institutions to adopt stackable learning to meet evolving needs. For example, a more flexible and modular learning path earned by accumulative micro-credentials, MOOCs, unbundling into smaller, unbundled into smaller flexible components, courses or modules, allowing leaders to tailor their own academic journey. So I must say, in doing so, digital leadership is important, essential for us to stay ahead in rapidly evolving world. Therefore, institutions need to rethink how they can teach, lead, and engage with students in the digital era. And the digital are required innovative leadership that embrace new challenges. So how do we do this? We need a very much strong collaboration with our industrial partners. And with the influx of AI, is set to transform teaching and learning experiences in many of higher education in our region, in ASEAN region, in specific. So AI is reshaping education delivery from virtual learning environments to AI-based administrative systems. So we see the benefits of AI in terms of personalized learning, administrative efficiency, enhanced engagement, adaptive learning platforms, as well as predictive analytics. But we have to do it in a more, ethical manner. So I must say that as a leader, a collaboration is not only in terms of teaching and learning, but also in the coming up with a more impactful research and innovation. So we need to have a very strong collaboration in terms of looking at transdisciplinary, multidisciplinary research and collaboration focused, and coming up with a more meaningful research that can bring positive changes, impactful on our society and nation. Impact driven national well-being is our ultimate aim. And of course, using the indigenous knowledge, this is also part of the important recipe in collaboration. Sometimes we forgot about what we have, the local wisdoms. So we should be embracing that for each and every country, because we are rich in terms of this knowledge. And of course, cultivating innovation in research, this also requires very strong collaboration and very strong leaders to gauge us into this area, because we need supporters, we need funders from the industry for us to commercialize our cutting edge research, for example, at our university. And of course, by doing so, we need a very strong industry academia collaboration, I must say, which is initiative like industrial training is crucial course for our students. University integrates practical work placement both locally and abroad. And of course, we should also be looking at how traditional focus on academic knowledge must now include employability, innovation, and real world problem solving. So how do we do this? We need leaders who can push this so that industry academic collaboration emerge as a vital strategy for us to bridging the gap between theoretical education and practical skills. Therefore, I must say industry academic collaboration, Prof, bridges the skill gaps by aligning our graduate competencies with industry needs, equipping our students with market-driven relevant skills to ensure job readiness. Therefore, we can then accelerate innovation by fostering research opportunity and enabling our universities to contribute to the advancement through industry funded projects with a real world application. So in other words, we need to empower industry on campus as well. Yeah. So in the case of Malaysia, also, if I can share, we also have the work integrated learning curriculum co-design with the industry. Yeah, with the many other stakeholders, also with the government agencies and entrepreneurial ecosystem, which has been highlighted by one of the panelists, establishing innovation hubs, and also startups, startups to accelerate and entrepreneurship programs on campus. So basically, academia, industry, mentoring and funding student-led or researchers-led or academic-led startups and innovation is also very important, so that we can show these are the primary purpose of having higher education, where we nurture talents, future talents in our region. Thank you, Prof. I pass it back to you. Okay.
Thank you, Dato'. I mean, the key point here, what we have actually heard from Dato' Professor Adlinda, is about collaboration, collaboration with the academia, industry, and not to forget on our collaboration with our ASEAN countries. So I think this is where moving forward that we need to share the best practices of all of the Asian countries. Okay, coming back to what we have actually heard from our panelists just now. We are really on transformation, especially on digital transformation in higher education. Okay, we heard about digital transformation in Indonesia, in Thailand, as well as in Malaysia. Now, I pass to Dr. Bert, as someone driving the curriculum transformation in Philippines. How do you see AI enhancing learning experiences while maintaining academic integrity? Because AI is no longer the future; it is here now. Okay, so it is our role to reshape education in ways we never imagined. So again, I would like to hear from your insights, Dr. Bert, on this AI drive the curriculum transformation.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think in general, and as we saw the existing documents that we have here, there are already higher education institutions that are issuing certain policies and ethical guidelines related to the use of artificial intelligence in education. And in fact, there are already courses in recent curriculum revision. There are already courses or subjects that are integrated in our curriculum that dwells on artificial intelligence, data analytics, for example, machine learning, and others. So the general feel is about acceptance, more of an acceptance of artificial intelligence and the benefits that it can provide for higher education. But this comes with caution as well. So I mentioned in my first response a while ago, I mentioned about one very important concern, which is about academic integrity. So how do we play the balance between utilizing and using artificial intelligence at the same time protecting what the very reason why higher education institutions exist, and that is academic integrity. Second is about, we are not only talking about access, but we also talk about quality. And access means equity. It does not, we have to consider that there are still do not have access. We have to consider that there are still who are underserved and they don't have the resources and the capacity to do it. So it's very important that we approach this educational technology, maybe not just AI, Professor Yatima, but in general, the educational technology. I think we have to approach this in a whole of nation or whole of governance approach. Universities cannot do it alone. So there must be a specific program and support system within our nation and government. You know, my university in 2023, we were commissioned by UNESCO to do global education monitoring report in Southeast Asia. We look at the case of the Philippines for technology in education, and there were significant results that were revealed. No, we said that the Philippines has made progress in integrating educational technology, but still faces structural challenges. Still facing a lot of structural challenges. Digital divide, lack of teacher training, and governance gaps hinder the progress. And there's a need for revisiting our policies. This is very important. Infrastructure investment and collaboration. I agree with Professor Aslinda a while ago when he mentioned about academia, industry, and government collaboration. You know, I always tell this to my graduate students. When there is an opportunity for you to collaborate and work closely with edtech providers, the one that are developing AI applications and tools, I think it's very important to maximize and seize the moment to work with them so that we in the education sector can inform the developers of this AI and educational technology how to better evolve their technology to and suit it to the realities of our classroom. Only educators like us can provide these very important inputs while they provide the sophistication of technology and so on. But in terms of providing the context of teaching and learning, the learning environment, that is the role of higher education. That is the role of school. So this is where collaboration should be emphasized, not just providing technology per se, not just providing connectivity per se, but how to contextualize to suit technology in our teaching and learning environment. So we recommended in the Philippine context to develop and implement a national education technology strategy that will not be the problem alone of Department of Education or Ministry of Higher Education, but also the Department of Information and Communication Technology, the Department of Science and Technology, and even the Finance Department, because they're the ones providing financial support and resources. They need to increase the investment on ICT infrastructure, not just in central places, but also in underserved and remote municipalities and communities. They have to strengthen the digital literacy program for our teachers and students. And let me re-echo what my fellow speakers has mentioned. Again, collaboration between government, private sector, and HEIs. We have one very good example naman of Southeast Asian collaboration of universities where UPSI is part of, UP is part of PNU, NIE Singapore. We form a network of teacher education institutions in Southeast Asia. We collaborate, we share resources, curricula, expertise, joint research and publication, even exchanges of faculty members and students, because I think this is the way to help each other. We know we have strengths, we also have our weaknesses, and there are available technologies and expertise that are not yet available in our setting. But because of this regional collaboration, we are strong and we move as one.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree on that, Dr. Bert. So I think it is a good move that the Education University have started, and I believe that more to come, because we cannot run away from all this digital transformation in teaching and learning, because that's a core business of a university. We are education industry, so we need to adapt, with this scenario, and also to be resilient to change. So this is very good input from our collaborators, from Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, as well as Thailand. Okay, so besides these activity initiatives, I believe that policies should be hand in hand as well, because as some of our panelists mentioned, that we need to have ethics and integrity in doing so. So maybe Pak Didi can share, because you're really in this digital transformation teaching and learning. So from your experience in digital learning and language education, what steps can institutions take to ensure that inclusivity is embedded in academic policies? Maybe
Okay.
you can share your
So
experience.
thank you, Bu. In our university, we have the policy of inclusivity. For example, starting this semester, when we are recruiting a new student, we are applying the inclusive tracks. So, for example, in nationally, we have three track of admission of students. The first one is based on the score of the academic record in higher education from semester 1 to semester 5. And the second one based on computer-based tests. And the third one is based on their respective university examination. But in the third track, our university applies inclusive track. So, for example, we are giving more opportunities for prospective students with disabilities to join our university by specifying special ways of admission by giving, for example, special scoring system or a special portfolio for those with disabilities. And also we have some regulation to eradicate what we call uh, uh, exclusion in our university. So, for example, we have a regulation of how to become our healthy campus. So we are prohibiting what we call sexual harassment. So we have what we call a very harsh punishment for the offender of those regulation. And then we provide specific anticipation for our students involved in drug abuse, for example. So we did what we call last week drug testing randomly to some of our students. So we also give some equal opportunities for students of different religions, different race, ethnicities, for example, but also for so even though we are mostly Muslim population around our university, but we have also some faculty staff with different religions, with different beliefs. They have the same opportunity to develop their careers. Uh, I think no problem. There is uh, no barriers. Even we provide services for religious teaching. So because we have two credit compulsory subject in a religion, so not only in religion recognized by the government, such as Muslims, Christian, Catholics, Buddhisms, Hinduisms, but for certain beliefs. So even though we have only one or two students joining the class of Catholic religions or Protestant religions, we provide teachers teaching religions according to the belief of the students. Yeah. So to make our university become an inclusive university. I think that's about inclusivity. I think that's all, Ibu.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Didi, for this sharing, which is a good step forward, yeah, for Indonesian higher education on this inclusivity and innovation. Maybe we can hear on the from Dr. Pon from Thailand, Ponchai. Maybe you can share with us. Is there any policies or initiatives that be most effective in ensuring inclusivity in leadership, teaching, and learning? Can you please share with us? Yeah.
Yes, I think that in Thailand we also have done a lot. This also include for the disabled student, the student with have some disability, physical disability. We also trying to provide higher education to them as well. And then we also have the rule, I mean the rules that we have to respect the people with different belief, different nationalities and such. And I think that this is also one of the very important that underlying of education, I mean higher education in Thailand. And I'd like to mention a little bit that in the future, I can foresee that with a lot of geopolitics in many parts of the world, there might be more international students who come from various places and then to Southeast Asia. So I agree with all of you that we have to have the good and strong foundation of respecting each other. And secondly, I think that if we can have more regional collaborations to strengthen our higher education, such as if you we have some instructor that very keen on some specific subject in some university. I think that uh, with the digital technology, we also can share this kind of thing. So my point is that first one is the mutual respect. The second one is probably we should use the technology, but not only technology, but also open kind of system. So we like to make sure that if we help each other, then we can strengthen our higher education. And thirdly, uh, it's time that we open our door to people from other region to come to our region to study. And we might have to open our door for the expert from other region as well. So what I can foresee is that in the future, we have to not only to teach younger generation in Southeast Asia, but we have to do the bigger task to educate people from various part of the world. And for Thailand, we also prepare for that. And we like to make sure that our higher education is inclusive and try to use the power of diversity in order to strengthen our higher education. So my point is that we preparing for the global and international higher education by uh, trying to strengthen our resource, trying to share our resource together. Such as in my system, if we have the uh, like some professor in the university nearby or not nearby who expert in that particular area. In our system should uh, be flexible enough to have them to come and teach so that the student will have the best teachers that available. So this is my point. That is open the system and then respect the diversity and also using the higher education for regional collaboration. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ponchai, for the sharing. Dr. Bird, I know that while you're practicing all these innovations in terms of inclusivity as well as digital transformation, I believe that in times of disruption, you should have your action plan on this. Is there anything that you would like to share with us on this?
Yes. Well, when when we look at the concept of inclusivity as a policy in higher education, there are many components that we look into. One is really about admission system. It's really about admission system, how inclusive our admission system is, and how equitable the admission system is in terms of those that are coming from the vulnerable sector of our population. That's the balance that we need, again, to observe in as far as getting the most qualified students who are compliant to the standards, to the academic standards of higher education institutions, but at the same time, that social responsibility of higher education institution to accommodate and accept students from highly vulnerable sectors of our community. So in the university, for example, we have implemented a contextualized admission policy or contextualized admission system so that it becomes equitable to not only persons with access issues or disability, not only those coming from indigenous communities, for example, but also those that are coming from very, very poor families. And that goes to policy related to scholarship, for example, in terms of who to benefit from scholarships. We have a like an internal agreement about prioritizing, let's say, first generation college students in the family, especially first generation women college students in the family. The first person that has reached college and the first person that will graduate from college from their family. We prioritize them in giving scholarship support and financial assistance. First generation college students, first generation women college students, because if there's one who will complete and finish the degree from their family in the Filipino culture and context, this person will help his siblings, will provide support to the family, and maybe the vicious cycle of poverty will be gradually addressed. So in terms of higher education policy, one example really is admission, scholarship, and providing, contextualizing the curriculum to fit really the culture as well. So PNU has 5 campuses across the Philippines. We have 5 campuses. We have one campus in northern Luzon. That's 1 hour away flight from Manila. And our campus there is called Indigenous Peoples Education Hub. So our teacher education program there caters as well to indigenous peoples who would like to become teachers in their communities. And so we contextualize the curriculum for them so that later on when they finish the degree as becoming a teacher, they will not go to other places, but they go back to their community, teach in their community as part of as becoming the educator and teacher. So we made adjustments in our curriculum. Another example is gender education and gender mainstreaming. We have a policy in the Philippine Normal University that our syllabus should reflect what specific gender themes or topics are captured or are discussed in a specific lesson to ensure that gender education or equity is discussed in the curriculum. And more recently, we established a new office in the university called Gender Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office. And this office takes care of equity, diversity, and inclusion related researches to inform curriculum development and to inform policy development in our university. So these are some examples of policies that are put in place in available documents to serve as reference for leadership decision and allocation of resources.
Well, very interesting. Quite diversified in terms of looking at their own strength area and impact to the community per se. I can see that very streamlining into certain strategies and initiatives, which is very good. Thank you, Dr. Bert, for your sharing. So come back to Pak Didi as a digital learning expert, Pak Didi. Issues of ethical is also very important.
Okay.
Especially when you address this adopting AI in education. So maybe you can share, how we can strengthen this part, because with all this digital learning around us and capability of all this technology, where they can assist or maybe where they can help us into promoting this. Maybe you can share with us the ethical considerations that has to be addressed. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Before addressing the ethical issues, I will add to what has been said by Dr. Bird concerning the inclusivity. In my experience, inclusivity applies not only for our national students. For example, in our university, inclusivity is not only for students coming from our country, but inclusivity also should apply to our international students. The case is like this. In our university, we have now some students from China. They cannot speak English well, and so they, in our university, our faculty staff cannot also speak Chinese. So, but when our staff speak English, they do not understand. So I think it will influence their well-being as a student, and they will feel being excluded from the system of learning and teaching process in our university. So this is when technology helps. So even though they do not communicate using the same language, but AI will be of help at the time. So our faculty staff speak Bahasa Indonesia, and we have a tool using AI, and AI will change from speech to text. And then the Chinese students will read the text in Chinese language. And then that's the same. So when they ask question, they will speak in Chinese, but then it will appear on the text in Bahasa Indonesia. So that's way the communication takes place. The communication is going on, and no problem at all. So in the world at the moment, there is no language barrier. So we do not need, for example, to have a good score in English to be able to study in English, or we have to be able to have a good score in TOEFL when we want to go to Arabic countries. So when they write papers, they write in Chinese, but then it is translated into Bahasa Indonesia. So our faculty staff will read their dissertation or their thesis in Bahasa Indonesia, even though they write it in Chinese. So that's one thing. And about the ethical issues, I experienced myself that one of colleague from other universities had a conversation that you are very productive in writing a book. How can you do so? It's easy. We have AI that can assist me when writing a book. For me myself, when I want to write a paper in a piece of paper, I need maybe 1 year, I need 2 years. So it is difficult for me to be as productive as what they are talking in the conversation. So what I want to say is that not all faculty staff understand about the ethics of using AI, for example, let alone students. Yeah, so maybe they do not know how, maybe they just know how to use ChatGPT, but they do not know how to apply it in their research or how to apply it in their paper writing, for example. So, in my understanding, we do not let them find their own ways of solving the problems. But what we have to do is giving them guidance, whether it is for faculty staff or for students, of how to look after or to take into account the ethics of using technology, whether it is using the internet, whether it is using AI, for example. So to be able to come to that point, I believe that we have to intervene the teaching and learning process through the provisions of AI tools available around us. So maybe we just it is not enough if we rely on AI, free AI, for example, from Open AI or ChatGPT or from DeepSeek. But I think we have to subscribe some application which is AI based. For example, how to use AI for research, how to use AI for academic writing, for example, and try to construct, to build the regulation together involving both students, faculty, staff, and those understand the law or regulation about ethnics or ethics, for example. So then we socialize the regulation together. So the regulations are constructed together. We build them together and we socialize them together. So it is understood by all parties involved in using technology, in using AI, for example. Because if we do not start by using applications of AI, which is directly involved with the student needs, I think it will be rather difficult to move forward more quickly, I think. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Didi, on the ethical considerations on this technology-driven teaching and learning. Okay, on the last part of our discussion today, we will again come back to the collaboration and the common space for Southeast Asia, ASEAN higher education. Higher education is increasingly interconnected, no doubt about it, and regional collaboration is no longer optional, it is an essential. So ASEAN and CIMO initiatives are working towards a harmonized regional system, but how do we make this collaboration meaningful? So I would like to hear from every representative of the countries today on how these current involvements in regional collaboration and how do you plan to expand this partnership in the coming years? So maybe Dr. Ponchai, you can start, give your global experience. How can universities move beyond agreements on paper and create impactful collaboration? Over to you.
By the way, thank you again for giving me opportunities. I think that we can do a lot of things together. And then what we have done will have a lot of benefit, because I can see that in the near future, as I mentioned before, ASEAN will be the gateway of education, gateway of investment, especially during this conflict between the superpower. So I think that what we can do, the first thing is that we have to settle about our mutual recognition of different system. We have 3 years, we have 4 years. We should have our credit transfer scheme among ASEAN. Secondly, I think that we also need to have some example of good program, such as we can have like ASEAN MBA, whether it's worthwhile to study one course in Malaysia, one course in Thailand, and one course in Indonesia, so that the student can learn not only from the classroom, but also from the culture, from the environment that is different. but still have the core knowledge of ASEAN together. And in this way, I think that probably we have to mix between the Western or North knowledge with uh, the the knowledge of the community of ASEAN, because I think that during some period we also have lost a lot of knowledge that also interrelated with each other. I believe that something in Thailand, something in Malaysia, something in Indonesia, or even in Philippines, we have some things related to each other. So it will go to the other step, that is research and innovation. So I think that we can trying to do the research and innovation together, the regional knowledge. And then in addition to that, we might have the cluster of doing some interesting thing together, such as cluster of knowledge according to each of the SDG. If I choose SDG number 11, I might have the good use case from the Philippines and from the Malaysia or from Indonesia, and we sharing the good practice together. And then in addition to other things as well. And the fourth thing, I think that we have to thinking about our students, because they are our future. We also I like to propose the ASEAN and SIMEO student camp that we're trying to do together. But if you like to do it, Thailand, we like to propose the student camp to study about our Venice of the Orient. How in the past that we can travel by canal, by river, and we also have a lot to offer. So I like to propose four things. The first one is mutual recognition. The second one is ASEAN learning program, ASEAN program like MBA or other ASEAN education. And the third one is the research and innovation cluster. And the fourth one is like the student camp, in order to make our students knowing each other and become friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ponchai. Maybe Dr. Bert, what about you? Maybe this on the last note on this collaboration between ASEAN and SIMO. Yeah. I can't hear you.
You're still muted.
Sorry
Yeah.
for that.
Good.
I perfectly agree with what Professor Sanchai has mentioned just a while ago. Yes, these are all very important initiatives for regional collaboration. I agree with mutual recognition system, looking into best practices and good examples of collaboration, niche-based or clustering priorities per area, and so on. These are all the same response that I'm thinking in my mind right now. But I think the common issue with regionalization and internationalization within within ASEAN is actually cost as well. It's the associated cost to mobility of professionals and experts and students, and because of this, we are limited to only involving a few and so on. So I still go back to maximizing and optimizing the benefit of technology as a way forward for internationalization and regionalization of education, or it could be blended. Because if we maximize technology, more and more people, more and more students will have can participate in our regional collaboration and projects. So one example is Singapore is offering different courses, for example, or subjects that can be taken by Filipino students online, and somehow this can be given certain credits or equivalency in our curriculum. So that could be one approach to strengthen regional educational collaboration. And In teacher education, for example, based on our last meeting in Bangkok, actually, we agreed to look into our teaching competency standards and see commonalities and differences in our teaching competence standards, and look at how we can work together in a regional scope with a harmonized teaching competency standards. Anyway, our professionals are already moving from one country to another. Filipino teachers are teaching in Thailand, Indonesia. So would be good that we look at a harmonized teaching competency standards in Southeast Asia. So that these are just some ideas to work on.
Yeah, sure. I mean, very beneficial to all of us. Yeah, Pak Didi, please.
Yes. Okay, thank you. We can divide in regional collaboration into person-to-person collaboration. For example, one of my colleague is accustomed to going to a university in Pahang. I asked her, why do you go there? I want to do my research. Why? Because in Indonesia, we do not have a relevant laboratorium. But in Pahang, we can have, and I have colleagues there, and then we can publish together. That's good, I say. So we encourage this kind of mobility, so person-to-person collaboration and mobility. We have another one is what we call university to university. So, for example, we have a long collaboration with UPSI, for example, through KPU collaboration. And then we have also a long collaboration with Dr. Bert Tuga University, especially about ASEAN Teacher Education Network, in which the initiator was Professor Esther Ojena, the former president of Philippine Normal University. And until now, the collaboration is still going on. So we have university to university collaboration, and we have also collaboration among associations of regional associations. For example, we are the member of AUNQA, ASEAN University Network. We attend Asai Hill Conference, for example. So as the Association of Southeast Asian Institution of Higher Education. And we have also RELC. So we attend RELC conference in Singapore, and in Indonesia we have CMO CECEP, also in collaboration with ASEAN Minister, and also in Thailand. And we have also collaboration initiated by Southeast Asian Teacher Network. We have teachers, Southeast Asian teachers, and we have also CTFET. So we send some of our students to do teaching practicum. The last time to Philippine Normal University, to Dr. Betugas University, and this year we send 6 students to the La Salle University in the Philippines. And we send also some of our students to Konkan University through what we call Southeast Asia collaboration framework for teacher education students. And we have also in collaboration like university to university, for example, with Tashkent State University of Economics. And then we have also a collaboration initiated, this is the third one, by collaboration agencies. So, for example, we have agents in Africa, in Uganda, and we have also an agent in China. So when we want to extend our collaboration with our colleagues in China, we are assisted by the agent. So I think there are at least 4 types of regional collaboration that we can do. So we plan to expand collaboration, especially for what we call double degree and also non-double degree. So we can do collaboration in degree program, non-degree program, or in research collaboration, or in continuous professional development, such as joint seminars or seminar series like this, which is very important, I think. And also what we do with ASTEN members, this is regional accreditation in teacher education quality assurance. So the hub or the focal point is in our university, and we are accrediting some universities in respective ASTEN members at the moment. So I think we can do also in terms of publication collaboration. So it can be done through person-to-person collaboration. So for example, uh, before research collaboration, we can also do a publication collaboration in QS ranking criteria. What I remember is Asian QS ranking. There is one criteria that requires us to have a paper being published together among our college in other universities. So when we publish our article using our affiliate only, it will be different from the case when the paper is being published in collaboration with other colleagues in other universities. So I think our plan is to increase collaboration, which is underpinned by the regional collaboration like KPU, ASTEN, AUNQA, and we also improve the collaboration that is underpinned by university to university collaboration, such as what we are going to do with UPSI. We are going to organize a seminar every 2 years, and this year it will be our turn to organize the seminar. And also person-to-person collaboration. And the fourth one is collaboration, which is assisted by agent, whether it is government agent or private agent. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the sharing, Pak Didi, on this active collaboration among our regional countries. Very detailed on that one. Maybe I want to hear from Professor Dato Azlinda. What is your aspirations on this collaboration between ASEAN countries as well as CIMO? Dato?
Thank you, Prof. Tima. I agree and concur with everyone's input. And I think we should continuously continue and expand the existing collaborations among our and among countries in the region. Yeah, so that's one thing. I think we have carried out quite a number of collaborations, which is impactful collaborations. We have the ASEAN University Network. We have so many. Yeah. I do not want to mention one by one, yeah, for example. That has to move on. But I've noticed, yeah, and in fact, I've highlighted to Simeo Rehat before this, that much of our discussion at Simeo is centered towards education per se, but particularly primary, secondary, that level. So we want to move more on higher education. We do have that. Now we are talking much about higher education. I think it has to be a common space for us to have a specific, meetings and also engagement with those in the higher level. Education, yeah, because I do know that there's a structural differences between areas, different countries, for example. Sometimes there's a combination of education minister and the higher education minister, but to some country it's separate. So how do we ensure that has to be tackled by those who are championing in the higher education? Yeah. Second. Thirdly, I see that there's a need for us to also share our expertise in terms of leading in any higher learning institution. I think we need leaders, to help us to guide, probably for the younger, nurturing the younger leaders. For that, I see that AKEPT, if I propose, AKEPT from Malaysia can be the lead for leadership trainings, because AKEPT that is established in Malaysia, that is their core purpose, and we just have to make sure the core sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, many of our academic institution leaders are being trained at AKEPT, so this can also be expanded to ASEAN region. And fourthly, I would say the internationalization educational hub is a must for all of us. It's already there, so we have to work very closely in terms of academic exchanges. What would be some of the best practices that we can learn? And of course, we need to have a research matching grants and all that, so that we can expand more impactful research for the region. And of course, innovation and knowledge transfer is very important, because I do know that in Thailand, and Philippines, and in fact Indonesia, you have a stronger knowledge transfer experience as compared to Malaysia. So we can learn further. And of course, the student exchange or mobility is also very important. And we have to really work on this, because every country has challenges in terms of funding. So how can we work on that? Sometimes we want to send our students to Philippines, probably there's some funds that we have to cater. So how can we, receiving our students so that the country can help to assist? And when we receive, students from other countries to Malaysia, what are the things that we can also assist? So these are the things that we should be venturing into, so that we can all be successful, benefiting from one another as the whole region ASEAN context. Since Malaysia will be the ASEAN chairmanship, we thought of bringing this, in our meetings in any time this year. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Dr. Azlinda, for that aspiration. I think we have had an incredibly rich discussion today, touching on leadership, innovation, inclusivity, and the role of technology in shaping the future of higher education. But before we wrap up, let's reflect on this. If you could leave us with one guiding principle that should steer our institutions forward, what would it be? Maybe just a one statement from every panelist. Who want to start first? Yeah, Dr. Punchai?
I think that what we have to do is that the first thing is that we have to listen to our new generation, and also working together. Listen to our new generation and working together for the better future.
Thank you. Dr. Bhatt?
Thank you, Professor. This is not coming from me, but I'll share this based on a very important document that I've read, issued by UNESCO, entitled Reimagining Our Futures Together, a New Social Contract for Education. The book summarizes 3 things if we'd like to prepare for the future of higher education. We have to rebalance our relationship with each other, and that's about collaboration and partnership. Rebalance our relationship with the planet, and that's about sustainability. And rebalance and rethink our relationship with technology, so that we can take advantage of what technology can offer to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe Pak Didi, yeah?
Okay, I will add what has been mentioned by Dr. Ponchai, that in my experience, in addition to listening to our students, our clients, we have also to listen to our staff, our team, because usually when we deal with problems that we face every day in our university leadership activities, we sometimes know only globally the problem that we face, but uh, I think our team who deal with everyday problem, day-to-day matters that they do, they will know more about the possible solutions. So if we listen to them, I believe that our policy will be possible to succeed. Thank you.
Yeah, finally, Dato'.
Okay. For me, let us all seize the opportunity to continue to innovate, to collaborate, and to lead with integrity so that we can shape a brighter future for our higher education, not only to our country, but to the ASEAN region as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato'. I think this is a opportunity to wrap up our discussion today, which is very insightful. And I think what we can see, higher education is at a turning point, requiring strong leadership, innovative policies, and collaboration to stay relevant. Across Southeast Asia, universities are evolving to drive change, embrace digital transformation, and support lifelong learning. So if you can see what we have actually discussed today among leaders of every country, we can see that like Malaysia, the Ministry of Education plays a key role in shaping policies and ensuring universities remain globally competitive. Like in Thailand, Dr. Poncha emphasizes lifelong learning and categorizing universities based on their strengths in research, innovation, and education. In Indonesia, we can see that how Indonesia focuses on developing student potential, national progress, technological advancement, and community service. And again, the Philippines highlights leadership, digital learning, academic integrity, and sustainability in education. So as a whole, we can see that we need to change. We need to see university leaders adaptable, integrating AI, digital tools, and the new learning models like micro-credential and stackable degrees. Integrity in digital education is crucial in maintaining quality and credibility. So let us work together between the Asian countries, and then we want to tackle these global challenges, focusing on digital education, work-based learning, and industry partnership. University must promote inclusivity for their admission, support for underrepresented groups, and gender equity. So education should be accessible to all, including disabled students and international learners. So as we look ahead, let us remain committed to working together and hope that the future education is not something we wait for, it is something we create. So to our panelists, thank you for your invaluable insights and vision.
Thank
And
you.
to all of you, thank you for being part of this important
Thank you.
conversation. Thank you to AKEPT who've given us the opportunity and platform to share our thoughts and insights. And this is just the beginning. Let's continue to inspire, innovate, and lead the way forward. Thank you all. Thank you. Hope to see you
Thank
all
you.